Hello there, I'm Lou Wieland, and for the last 30 years I've been publishing the official relocation guides on Atlanta that are distributed by the First Multiple Listing Service of Atlanta. That we have one for Atlanta, one for Cobb, one for North Fulton, and one for Gwinnett. They are available at all the realtor stores and at the 3 FMLS stores, at all the realtor offices and at the 3 FMLS stores. We also email them out to realtors every week for distribution to their clients digitally who are interested in purchasing and selling commercial and residential real estate. They're also on my website, atlantacommunityprofiles.com. I'm also a realtor with commercial realtor with KW Commercial. My focus is multifamily and land primarily, and I also do some office leasing. If I can help you, my email is lou@louwieland.com. And basically, the magazines are full of information about the city. We profile the counties and the communities, the schools, the hospitals, designed to help people get acquainted with the area or find information, more detailed information than they might find just by Googling it, which a lot of people do, I know, but we have the more detailed information. It's on our website and in the magazines, atlantacommunityprofiles.com. And this show will be on our website, Atlanta Community Profiles, if you need to listen to this show again, because we will be having a lot of jam-packed information, and we'll be probably going through it pretty quickly. Today, our guest is the president of FMLS, Jeremy Crawford. Welcome back to the show, Jeremy. Great to have you. And by the way, congratulations. You have among the 200 most powerful leaders in the real estate industry, as recorded by the TC60 Organized Real Estate Almanac Swamp Pool Power 200. If anybody can remember all of that, you're doing better than me. Anyway, it's a very distinguished group of the most powerful people in the real estate business in our country. So congratulations and well deserved. And Jeremy, what just quickly with just review. So for some of the people are watching are not realtors, they might not even know what First Multiple Listing Service is. What is it anyway? Tell people quickly or just briefly an overview, because I know we have a lot to cover today. But what just for the non-realtor audience, how could you describe it?
Absolutely, Lou. So First Multiple Listing Service was formed in 1957 by brokers to help transact real estate and help find buyers and sellers as a place to come together with real estate professionals at the driver's seat. So we now serve nearly 60,000 brokers and agents in the greater Georgia area. We're the fourth largest multiple listing service in the nation, and one of the very few multiple listing services that are actually broker shareholder owned, if you will, as opposed to an association of realtors affiliated multiple listing service. And we provide products, data, integrity, compliance, mobile platforms, all the tools that brokers and agents need to market, buy, and sell with their clients. And we also have our FMLS Training Institute that provides CE accredited training and is certified in Georgia and Alabama and South Carolina and Tennessee to provide CE accredited training to all our brokers and agents. And we also serve the appraisal community as well, who uses us to help the appraisal process in the home buying experience. And we've been around, and we look forward to continuing to serve our brokers and agents, Lou, and keep pushing the envelope of providing them the best in breed products and services and the cleanest data out there.
One thing I want to ask you about too, about the Colorado involvement. What is that nature of that, Jeremy?
Absolutely. So, Lou, we have been expanding data access to our brokers and agents. We've been sharing data with other multiple listing services when it makes sense. And as you saw recently, Colorado did a press release. We have inked a deal with RE Colorado, which is the largest MLS in the state of Colorado, primarily serving the Denver metro area. And our brokers and agents will have full access to the listings within the Colorado MLS system right there within FMLS and vice versa. So we're paving the way to continually expand our referral network. So many of those people in Denver are moving to the Atlanta marketplace for cost of living and job opportunities. And that helps build out a referral network between real estate professionals in Colorado and the real estate professionals that are members to FMLS by exposing the listings between each MLS out there inside the MLS system.
Okay, that's great to know. Okay, so let's get right into it. We have a lot of material here to cover today, and a lot going on in the industry last year and forecast for this year. So tell us what happened last year compared to year over year, and what's your crystal ball say for 2024?
Absolutely. I'll share some 2023 statistics with everyone. Pull up one of the tools we provide out as the Showing Time InfoSparks platform that I pulled up on the screen for everyone. In December, Lou, we saw inventory start to creep up. Everyone knows that interest rates last year were on the rise. We were in a home lock situation where sellers did not want to put their homes on the market when they had a 2 to 3% interest rate and turn around and look at buying in a market with a 6 to 8% interest rate. So inventory was extremely low last year. Number of units sold was low. We saw December actually creep up, and the number of new listings in December and the transactions started to reach December of 2022. But as a year as a whole, the number of units that were sold in FMLS last year were down 15% compared to 2022. We still continue to see increases in home values and prices on the market, but residential detached and residential attached listings increased over 3% year over year between 2022 and 2023. We still have about 500,000 houses short in the state of Georgia from the housing economist predictions. So we're still seeing constrained inventory supplies, Lou, so that dollar volume continues to increase. We did see the dollar volume down about 15% in 2023, nearly $40 billion in transactions through FMLS between residential sales as well as residential and commercial rentals. So we did see that, but that volume was down substantially, about 15%, even though we did see price appreciation. And when we take a look at the inventory, Lou, we're actually only at a 2.5 month supply of houses. And essentially for all the listeners out there, it means if there are no new homes on the market today, then we will be completely out of inventory in less than 3 months. And that's one of the economic factors we look at. 4 to 6 months is typically what you see in a healthy economy for housing, where it's not a buyer's market and it's not a seller's market. And we're at about half that right now. And we really do need to see more inventory coming in on the market so we can see those buyers having more opportunities out there. And affordability has continued to be a problem for the buyers in the marketplace. Increased interest rates, increased home prices, and we see buyers sitting on the sidelines just because of the affordability factors. That's why we do provide the down payment resource platform to help buyers have a down payment assistant program that helps get over the hump of affordability at times. So that is something that they can find right there within FMLS that is out there. But we continuously see a shortage of inventory, and we're hoping in 2024 we're going to see that come back, Lou. And so we're looking for some softening of interest rates is what the economists would tell everyone. I always tell everyone, Lou, I'm not an economist, so I don't have a crystal ball. But from everything that we hear, 2024 will have increased inventory, some softening of interest rates, and we'll start to see sellers get off the sideline and put their homes for sale on the market, and buyers be able to transact more buying business out there in 2024 with some softening of the interest rates that are out there. So no big crystal ball, Lou. I will say though, and I know you're in the commercial space, we've seen a lot of activity in the lease market space. We actually had 20% more residential listings and nearly 30% more commercial listings put into FMLS during 2023 compared to 2022. So we are seeing more and more activity in both the residential and the commercial markets within FMLS from that particular perspective. And we think that that'll continue. There's a lot of rental activity out there in the residential market space because buyers can't find homes that they can afford to be in. So they continue to rent to bridge the gap to hopefully see more inventory. And again, interest rates softening out there. So that's really, while not a crystal ball, it's a lot of what the economists are predicting for 2024 from that perspective, Lou.
In my line of work, which is real estate, of course, residential, but mostly commercial, I've seen a lot of people being reluctant to sell their house because they have a nice, comfortable mortgage interest rate, and they don't want to get into a mortgage that's could be 50% higher or 100% higher. And to what extent is that a factor in the industry right now, Jeremy, in your paradigm?
It's a huge factor. That's where the inventory gridlock has come into place, is that the sellers are sitting there with 3% 30-year fixed mortgages, or in my instance, Lou, I'm at 1.875 for a 15-year fixed. I wouldn't consider at all moving to a 6% or 7% 30-year fixed mortgage and putting my home on the market. There are investors out there that are doing all cash deals, and we have seen more all cash deals than we've ever seen before. And a lot of that is out there because of the interest rates. It's more effective for them to do all cash deals as opposed to getting into those interest rates. But I think that we're going to see some softening this year, Lou, and we'll see that inventory pop back in.
Would you elaborate just briefly a little bit more about the down payment assistance program and in the Matrix One Home section of the first website?
Absolutely, Lou. Happy to do so. So down payment assistant goes out and aggregates all of the programs available nationally, locally, in the state, in the region, and within inside of both Remind and within inside of Matrix, it flags homes that might qualify for a down payment assistant. There are a lot of programs out there for the military, for the armed forces. If you're in those, there's a lot of veteran programs that are out there. There are a lot of programs in the state of Georgia for first-time buyers. And within the One Home Consumer Portal, consumers will see a flag now within inside of the listing detail that will show them directly that there are down payment assistance options for that particular property. And they can click and actually apply right there for the programs that are available that match that property. It could match it based upon being military housing. It could match it because of a specific zip code, a specific price range, a specific property type. There are many different programs out there, and down payment resource assistance, one of the ones that is used the most with FMLS. And in this area of affordability needs out there for the buyer community, I encourage all of our real estate agents and all the consumers out there to leverage the down payment resource that's available in Matrix and in Remind for the agents and the brokers, and in One Home for the consumers to be able to access and search for houses that have potential down payment assistance. Some of those programs offer up $10,000 to $20,000 in a down payment grant that is not having to be paid back, if you will, for many of those home buyers out there. So I would encourage everyone to take a look at that.
The biggest growth in home purchasing has been among first-time home buyers, too. So I think realtors can benefit greatly from that program in their businesses.
Absolutely.
So, Jeremy, there's been a lot of talk and concern about the class action litigation and a lot of confusion. Not too many people, even in our industry, know exactly what this is and what are the possible consequences and nuances, et cetera. I wonder if you could help people understand that a little bit.
Absolutely. Lou, this started in Missouri where plaintiffs sued the National Association of Realtors and some real estate brokers in a class action lawsuit surrounding buyer agency compensation. The initial first case was won. It is in the process of appeals at this time, and essentially the case claimed conspiracy between National Association of Realtors as well as brokerages in the buyer agency offer of compensation. And since then, I believe there's roughly 15 lawsuits that have been filed that are all class action. One is also in the state of Georgia. One has already been settled in Boston with the Boston Multiple Listing Service. And some of these surround rules that the National Association of Realtors imposed on their realtor affiliated MLSs, where an offer of commission was required for a buyer agency. From the FMLS perspective, we never required a buyer agency offer of compensation. It was always optional. It could be zero, it could be special notes. And we're also not affiliated with the National Association of Realtors. As I mentioned earlier, we are broker shareholder owned, privately owned, if you will. We're one of four in the state of Georgia who is not owned or affiliated with the National Association of Realtors. But in general, there will be many years to come on this litigation. It's really important to, in the state of Georgia, use your buyer agency brokerage agreements with your buyers. That's been in the state of Georgia since the 90s, since Beretta came out in the early 90s, and that's provided through your Georgia Association of Realtor forms or your RE forms that FMLS provides right there within Remind Transaction Management Docs Plus platform. But essentially, it is something that the brokers and agents do need to be knowledgeable of. And in the state of Georgia, we're fortunate to have the buyer agency agreements, which I know you're familiar with, Lou, and we've had those for a long time, and those are typically used. But in general, I just want everyone to keep an eye out because these lawsuits could change the potential way that brokers and agents are compensated for their work between buyers and sellers in the current state of affairs of how they're compensated today, and could start to change perspectives of organized real estate. From the FMLS perspective, we've never had these mandated rules. We have some legal information on our website that the brokers and agents can take a look at. And if they have further questions regarding FMLS, and we are not named as a defendant in any of the current litigation cases that are out there, but feel free to direct that to us at FMLS and we'll respond with any specific questions surrounding that.
This might be a good time to bring up the subject of classes that you offer agents pertaining to this and other critical elements of our ever-changing industry.
Absolutely. We do, with our FMLS CE Accredited Institute, provide various classes on the FMLS products and tools and how to use them. One of our classes is actually how to use transaction management software with Remind Docs Plus. And within the scope of that, they do show you some details on how to access those forms I referenced. The buyer agency agreement is there. And so within the scope of the FMLS classes that we do offer, we can show you how to use those forms, and you get CE accredited training as a broker or an agent. We even offer appraisal CE accredited training through the Data Masters appraisal software as well. So we provide that out to not only FMLS members, but also Gulf Coast, Mobile, Alabama members, East Alabama, Phoenix City members, Greater Alabama MLS, which is Birmingham, and others, Macon, which is Middle Georgia MLS. So if you're a member of any of those MLSs, we provide classes to you as well through our data sharing and partnership programs.
So I've been publishing the magazines for 30 years, and I know that over that period of time, technology has changed dramatically, and especially since Jeremy came on board with his technology background, and really because of your excellence in this field. You've been chosen as number 54, and beside 54th in the most powerful 200 leaders in our industry, and you've done a phenomenal job of bringing high technology to FMLS and to Atlanta, and then also grown the FMLS to geographically into many parts of the country. But you've really made FMLS, Jeremy, and I know you're modest, but you've really made it really the leader in technology in the country, and we appreciate your outstanding work that you've done. Can you help us to understand a little bit about what you've done and some of the technology that you brought to the table? I know it's quite a bit. I mean, it's overwhelming, in fact, especially the artificial intelligence part. But let's get started on that because it's really critical. Technology, the real estate industry has really become a technology industry, know it or not. People don't realize it because I guess it seems foreign, but it's really not. It's an integral part of our industry now. So take it away and just to help us with all that. It's a little intimidating because most of us are right brain, creative and persuasive versus left brain math and science in our industry, like me especially. So help us with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we wrapped up the end of 2023 with some launches. As you mentioned, artificial intelligence. We now give you the opportunity to upload all of your photos as an agent for a listing, and we will automatically tag the photos as to what type of room that is. We will automatically create descriptions for those photos for you as an agent, so you don't have to create them from scratch yourself. And that was launched in Q4 of last year. And this year, we're going to be expanding upon that to create property descriptions for you based upon what the artificial intelligence sees in all the photos that you upload. The more photos you have, the better property description we can create. And on the consumer side, for the consumer one home portal with RESB.ai, the consumers will be able to image search. So if you see an image that you like of a pool, it'll actually go and find other listings with similar pools and show them to you. And this also helps provide accessibility options and ADA compliance for websites by creating alt tags for those photos. And we also launched earlier last year Finding Homes by Lundy, which is your Alexa voice-enabled app. It is providing accessibility for those that have seeing impairments, but it is also combining the best of artificial intelligence that we're providing so that if you have an Alexa device like an Echo Show that has a screen on it, it will actually start to show you listings based upon the images you want to see. Many of us are used to flipping through photos to get to the photo we want to see because all you want to see is a kitchen or a pool, and that's your primary photo that you're looking for. Finding Homes by Lundy this year will launch. When you look at that photo, it will launch the ability to show you the pools in the other photos without having to scroll through the collection of the photos. Or if you're someone with seeing impairments, it'll actually read to you what it sees in those photos. So that's some areas that we have expanded upon in the space of artificial intelligence to make it more efficient for our brokers and agents to do listing maintenance and provide more accessibility options, more options for ADA compliance out there for broker and agent websites, as well as our own websites, and also be able to empower you to do more with voice searching by saying Finding Homes by Lundy on your Alexa device. So those are some things we've launched. We also launched a brand new FMLS real estate search portal at the end of last year, which I've got on my screen for everyone to see. It's a nice, easy, clean cut way to allow brokers and agents more exposure for their listings, and simplistic search. This used to be our georgiaopenhouses.com website, which now has all the listings on the search. And you can see right there, Lou, it even will focus on finding rentals, since that's been such a new hot market for FMLS or the open houses. It creates you a nice map-based results page, and it does present to you very beautiful layouts of the property detail page. So that was something that we did launch at the end of last year to be brand new, to have a new place for agents and brokers to showcase their listings, and to give them more exposure out there, and to really enhance that open house website that we had for many, many years. And then we also launched a new mobile app called MLS Touch. MLS Touch is used by over 1 million brokers and agents in the nation. It's integrated with the CoreLogic Matrix and the CoreLogic One Home platform. And we launched this in October of last year. It is in the App Store for Google devices, Droid devices, iPhone devices, called MLS Touch. It has a consumer interface, and it has a broker and agent interface, and it completely does integrate with the other tools that we provide, such as One Home and Matrix and Realist, all right there. Even the saved searches will sync together within that and give the brokers and agents collaboration and integrations with CRM platforms. So those we were launching at the end of last year. And at the same time, Lou, we launched our data share with the East Alabama MLS, which is in Phoenix City. For those of you that aren't aware, Phoenix City is right next to Columbus, Georgia. So anyone with listings in Phoenix City and Columbus, Georgia, are now exposing those back and forth to all the FMLS members. So FMLS members have full access now to all of the inventory in Phoenix City and in Columbus through the East Alabama data share, and vice versa, just expanding our network. And we didn't stop there last year, Lou. We went ahead and also launched access into the California Regional MLS. And you had already denoted our launch with RE Colorado through Matrix Intralinks. And so our brokers and agents can go right into Matrix, and they can go into Miami's MLS, California Regional MLS, Omni MLS, which is Latin America, RE Colorado. And we just turned on MLS Listings, which is San Jose, to give our brokers and agents access into those MLS systems. And we'll be doing data shares natively with all of them as well. So all of that was launched. And then what you see on the screen in front of you is actually Matrix 11.2. It is a brand new version of Matrix that we launched at the end of last year as well. It's a toggle, so you can turn it on and off. So it's not turned on by default for everyone, but it has a new dashboard and a new layout. And so that was launched. Technically, it was launched on the 3rd of January, but really we wrapped that up at the end of last year, Lou. So from a last year's perspective, Lou, we've done a lot of technology launches. And then let me give you a little hint of what we've got coming down the pipe for you in 2024. We're going to have brand new single sign-on dashboards for our brokers and agents. We're going to increase security later this year by adding in two-factor authentication. I know some see that as a nuisance, but in the world that we live in today with cybersecurity needs and ransomware and malware that is out there, we are enhancing the ability to strengthen the security to access into the MLS. We're going to also launch a new Realist tax platform dashboard. It's going to be a centralized hub for property marketing intelligence. It's going to have charts and graphs on market trends, on industry insights. So that's going to be launched later. And then we're going to light up more data partners with Heartland MLS. Heartland MLS is in St. Louis, Missouri. And then we're going to light up more native data shares, including MLS Listings of San Jose. And so the reality, Lou, is we have the largest MLS to MLS referral network now in the nation. A listing that's put into FMLS is exposed to over 350,000 licensed real estate professionals nationwide, from the West Coast into Latin America, into Florida, into Alabama, into Colorado, into Missouri. And we're going to keep expanding that as we want to make sure that the brokers and agents have the most exposure for their buyers and sellers to either search for properties or advertise and market the properties they have listed for sale. And that is really creating the largest MLS to MLS data sharing and referral network in the nation. And we've now become a data hub repository, and we are facilitating data shares between other MLSs. Last year, Stellar MLS, which is the third largest in the nation in Central Florida and Puerto Rico, decided to share data with Mobile, Alabama, and they're doing all of that through FMLS. So we're not only empowering data shares from FMLS, we're helping empower data shares between other organizations and creating a much stronger network of listings available for all the listing professionals nationwide, regardless of their locale or their multiple listing service that they're a member of, is the goal. And we do find there's extensive referral business in and out of Atlanta to many of these market areas. In fact, Lou, an interesting statistic was 4% of all of the searches done by FMLS agents were for properties in Mobile, Alabama. So 4% last year of all of our members' searches were for Mobile, Alabama listings, showing that even Mobile is a very small town in comparison to Atlanta. There's a lot of business back and forth between the Atlanta community for buying and selling and the Mobile, Alabama community for buying and selling. So we're really focusing on the exposure, and this is exposure that no other MLS in the nation provides.
Okay, Jeremy, I need to go down to Mobile and find some investment property if all that activity is going on down there. Go ahead.
Yes, you do.
I've got some investors who would be interested in knowing about that. Hey, would you just elaborate? I know we are short of time and we have a lot to cover. We've covered a lot, and by the way, if you missed any of this, you can listen to this again on my website. It's AtlantaCommunityProfiles.com, and we will be sending this show out to all the realtors. But could you just briefly address, with all of these changes in technology, what kind of classes would you recommend to agents listening to be really up to speed on everything? And what would you recommend? And what's going on with the live versus online classes?
Absolutely. So we offer in-person training at our 3 office facilities in Sandy Springs, Duluth, and Kennesaw. We do in-person classes at the brokerages. As long as there's 10 people that can attend or more, we will actually come out to the brokerage offices and hold classes in person. We do live Zoom training, which is also CE accredited. And then we have our TrackStar platform that is self-paced. And so you can actually get CE accredited training through self-paced training, doing it at your own leisure. Or we have a YouTube library full of everything from a 1-minute video to a 3-hour video. And in looking at the tools we've kind of covered today, we have our basics class that covers Matrix. We have our transaction management class that covers Remind Docs Plus. We have our mobile real estate solutions class that covers MLS Touch and how to use mobile in the field, as well as Finding Homes by Lundy integrated into our mobile class that is out there. We have an advanced class that talks about details in searching. We have classes for our Cloud CMA comparable market analysis software to help you price properties and use the MLS data to either look at creating offers or help your seller know what price point to list their property at. So those are some that I would highlight. All of our entire library of classes are based upon the products and services we provide. We don't teach license law. We leave that to the Atlanta Realtor Association, who teaches your license law classes. We really surround how do you as a broker and agent use technology in today's world to help you do your business more efficiently and more accurately. And so that's where our classes are tiered around. So all of those are available and listed online at FMLS.com. You can find the entire class library, upcoming class times, be it Zoom Live or in person. And then you can just reach out to training@FMLS.com if you would like to have us come in person to your brokerage class and teach that in person.
All of this has undoubtedly exerted some pressure on your support team. And by the way, FMLS has the best support team in the nation of any company, in my opinion. You have a lot of pressure, I imagine, on these guys. Tell us a little bit about the superior support team that you have put together.
Very proud of our staff here at FMLS in all departments, and the customer support team does a spectacular job. They took nearly 80,000 calls last year, and we ended up over a 94% customer service satisfaction rating with over 80,000 calls and chat inquiries into that department. So we typically take 5,000 to 7,000 calls and chats per month with our team, and every call gets a survey sent to it as a result. So the ratings are by the customers after they hang up the phone. They get option to fill out a survey, and I'm very proud to see 1 month we actually surpassed 96% customer satisfaction. But we've averaged in 2023 around 94%, which was a slight increase compared to 2022. So very proud of our team. And I always say that any of the awards, as you had noted earlier, is not just me, it's actually the staff and the management and the leadership that are here at FMLS, getting us on the map for the award that I'm very honored to have just won with the T360 Most Powerful 200 in Real Estate, Lou.
Yeah, and again, congratulations on that. We're proud of having you with us here in Atlanta, and the work you do and all the work that you have done to help realtors like myself improve on our level of professionalism and be more valuable to our clients. It's all very important. So tell us a little bit about some key events that are coming up soon. I know you have a couple of things coming up within the next month or two that are valuable for agents.
Absolutely. We had been hosting an economic summit called First Look for our brokers. This year, we decided to pivot and partner with the Atlanta Realtors Association and host the ARA Outlook with FMLS as the keynote sponsor. So we have merged together the best of the FMLS First Look Economic Summit with ARA's 13th annual Economic Outlook. That's going to be held January the 26th at Flourish, which is a event venue in Buckhead. We're going to kick it off at 8:30 a.m. with FMLS providing free hot breakfast and mimosas, Lou. So I would encourage everyone to look at the Atlanta Realtors Association's website or FMLS on how to register for that. Attendance is limited, and the first 250 cars that get there will have free valet parking included with the event, as well as their breakfast and mimosas. And we do really have an all-star lineup of speakers. Very proud this year of the agenda that we have. We've gone hyper-local with a lot of our speakers from Atlanta. So I think that everyone will see the speaker lineup and want to be in attendance there. And then another new event that we're hosting for the first time this year on February 2nd is an Innovation Labs. And the National Association of Realtors has a startup incubator. They call it the Reach Labs. So we will have 3 to 4 brand new startup companies as spotlights that will be providing Innovation Expo, and it will be held at the Atlanta Realtor Association's offices. And again, that's going to be February 2nd, starting at 11 a.m. Look at FMLS's website for registration info. That will be a free event. It will just be limited in the number of attendees based upon the meeting room size. So very excited to kick off January with the Economic Outlook on the 26th, and then follow up with an Innovation Expo on February the 2nd. And those would be 2 great events to kick off this year.
So thanks for being on the show, Jeremy. And by the way, if you missed any of this or would like to hear it again, you can see it on my YouTube channel, AtlantaCommunityProfiles.com, and also, again, it will be on my website, AtlantaCommunityProfiles.com, and it'll probably be on FMLS's website too, because there's a lot that Jeremy covered, especially the technology part, and if you would like to get a greater understanding of everything that's going on in this fast-paced industry. Again, if you are an agent and you are interested in the copies of the magazine and you're not finding them available, let me know. I'll be happy to send them out to you. We can provide Atlanta Community Profiles magazines to all. We do provide them to all your offices, and if you're running low or need more, let me know. Lou at communityprofiles.net. And again, thank you for the information, Jeremy. We appreciate your great service and contribution to our industry. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day.